Our film begins in San Francisco with Rizwan Khan, who writes down the movements of the President of the United States of America and the stations of his visit. He goes to the airport and books a ticket to Washington in his search just because he was reciting Sur al-Ikhlas. After they finish searching him, the officer asks him about the reason for his travel to Washington. Khan replies that he has a message and wants to deliver it to the president, which is that his name is Khan and that he is not a terrorist. Because the search took a long time, which is what made the plane pass him by, he was forced to take a bus. He begins writing in his diary to his girlfriend and wife, telling her that he will fulfill his promise to her and that he will meet the president soon. We begin to know his story from the days when he was a young child, when he was always facing problems because people bullied him because he suffers from Spitzer syndrome, which is a form of autism. His mother was determined to educate him, but he did not continue in school because of the bullying he faced. His mother took him to a private tutor named Wadia, who taught him everything. His high level of intelligence was evident when he invented a way to drain the water that was in his teacher's house. After that, he started helping his mother by fixing all the broken appliances she had in the house. But because his mother cared about him very much, she neglected his younger brother. When he first grew up and was 18 years old, he received a scholarship to study in America. He traveled and settled there and got married. But after a while, their mother passed away and Khan traveled and lived with his brother Zakir. There he met Asina, his brother's wife. She was studying psychology. She was the first one who was able to understand Khan's condition and understood the things that scared him the most, such as new places and people, the color yellow, and loud sounds. She was able to treat his fear of places by having him see new places through a camera screen. He helped his brother and worked with him in the same company as a sales representative for cosmetics. He starts going to beauty salons and displays his products until he meets a woman who used to work in a salon. He gets to know her and likes her. He learns that she has a son and that her husband left her and divorced her. He offers to marry her, but she refuses. But he keeps asking her to agree until she agrees with him, but in one condition: he will show her a place that she never seen. The first time she sees him in San Francisco. At that moment, he accepts the challenge. Khan tries to show her new places that she has never seen before, but he fails because she knows all the places. One day, Khan knocks on her door at dawn and tells her that she must come with him now so that he can show her a new place. They go up to a high place, and she opens her eyes to the sunrise and sees the place for the first time. At that moment, she agrees to marry Khan. The events of September 11th happened. It shortened the lives of Rizwan and Mandir and increased. He became very fanatical at that time against Muslims. Violence spread throughout the states. Hasina was bullied more because of her hijab, which forced her to take it off. Sam lost his only friend's son, whose father died while covering the news in Afghanistan. Sam was bullied more at school. Because of the incidents, he was beaten by his classmates. This led to Sam's death. Mandir learns from the police investigator that religious fanaticism was the cause of her son's death. He died because he was a Muslim. She blames Rizwan Khan, her husband, and asks him to leave her and go away, saying that she doesn't want to see him again. She throws him out of the house because he is the reason for what happened. Khan asks her very spontaneously, "When can I come back?" She tells him, "When you tell every American that your name is Khan and that you are not a terrorist." She tells him, "Go to the President of the United States and tell him that my son was a Muslim and not a terrorist." Khan begins his journey to meet the President of the United States and tries to collect money by maintaining cars on the road and meets different people on his way and meets the mother of her son who lives in a small town with only 24 people. So he lives with them for a while and then moves on because the president has a visit to the Grand Mosque, so he is able to arrive 3 days before the visit time. And while he is praying, one day he hears a sermon by Dr. Faisal Rahman, which is a racist sermon against non-Muslims. And this makes Khan object to the sermon and describes the doctor as a lying racist devil and reports him to the FBI. He comes at the time of the visit, and as soon as he sees the president standing in the middle of the crowd, he starts chanting and saying, "My name is Khan, and I am not a terrorist." A commotion occurs around him because of the word terrorist that he said, and the cameras film him, and he is arrested, interrogated, tortured, and goes to prison. But among the cameras that filmed him is a young man named Raj. He cared about his case and was trying to know the whole story, and he asked a hacker to find out any information about Rizwan Khan and he presented his case on a news channel. So they interviewed his brother and his wife, and his case turned into a public opinion case, and he was released when they confirmed that he helped in arresting Dr. Faisal Rahman. And while he was going out, he saw what was in front of him, but he prevented himself from meeting her because of a secret. He told her that he would meet the first president, and he learned from the news that there was a prisoner attack on the city of Georgia and destroyed the town they were in, so he decided to go and help them. He actually arrived and found the whole town destroyed and drowned, and all its people were in the church, and he and the news team know that Khan is in this town, so they go to him and decide to help them before the church collapses from the force of the hurricane. News is circulating that Khan, who is trying to save the people of the town alone, and who has become a source of inspiration for the people, is the same person who was accused of being a terrorist, and this was the reason why many citizens, including his brother and his wife, went to help the people of the town and save them from death and drowning. Then, news of him reached one of the presidential candidates at the time, a candidate named Barack Obama, who was among those who saw the news. Sam's friend decided to confess to Mandira that he knew who killed Sam and that he was afraid to confess. The ones who killed him were arrested. She decides to travel to Khan, who is being subjected to an attempted murder by an extremist, Dr. Faisal Rahman, who I think is because of Khan's report about him. So Rizwan Khan is transferred to a hospital in Georgia. At the same time, President Obama wins the presidency, and Khan knows that the president will visit Georgia and tries to meet him, but he arrives late when the president leaves. But at the end of the movie, he is surprised that the president returns to meet him personally and is actually able to meet him and tell him that his name is Khan and that he is not a terrorist, and he is also able to deliver the message of the officer who preceded him at the airport. If you've reached so far in our video, you're officially awesome. Thanks for sticking around with Chat Craze. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and to leave a nice comment. Until next time.